The servants' entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Owl Howe is inside. The estate is in poor repair. The new owl, he has not been very prompt in paying his workmen. I will be right behind you.
No, Carter's Craft Hall has had enough of Howe's conveniently busy schedule. We will not be put off again.
Nor will the stonemasons. It's been a month since we've seen so much as a coin of Howe's for our work.
His lordship is much engaged with the region. He will hear your complaints as soon as he has the time.
He's wasting it.
And when will that be? At the dawn of the next age? Our people have families to feed. They can't wait forever on the Terran's whim.
His lordship...
Oh, for the love of Lady Alice, just leave the lot of you. Standing out here whining isn't getting the door open for you.
No entry by order of the town. No visitors. Come back another day.
No, you can't see Terran now. Life is terribly unfair, travesty of justice, blah blah. Just leave.
This way.
We'll appeal to the Queen.
Morning. Begun.
I'm ready.
Someone...
Yes, my friend.
Enemies approaching. Stop there. Stop. One down. Good. Another down. It shall be done.
I can distract the guards, but you must move quickly. Hurry! My lady does not have much time. Are you all prepared? I will go distract the guards. These two know who is allowed to come and go. They will not be fooled. But the uniform should work on most of those inside. I will lure them into the courtyard. Wait in the bushes. Oh, you must come! I saw something! By the fountain! I think it was a Darkspawn!
Darkspawn?
They will drag us all underground to be eaten!
Should we call for help?
Did you fall off a cart full of stupid? Call for help? So they can see us act like scared little girls because of some knife-eared wench?
They will eat us all alive! Please, get help!
If there is something out there and we don't sound the alarm, we'll look worse than scared.
And drast these holy knickers. Fine, we'll check the courtyard, if it'll keep you from wetting yourself. But there's nothing there.
Thank you. Oh! It was over here! Quickly!
Shall we?
I'm here. You need me? I'll do it. It took me forever to be rid of those two. You must be careful now. The servants, they will not look closely at anyone in uniform. All guards are alike to a cook, no? But you should not draw attention to yourself. Most of the guards are new. They will not know you for a stranger at a glance. It is best to keep your distance from all of them and try to blend in. She's in the guest room, off the main hall. Andras, they guide us.
This kitchen is a disgrace. How did the old Arl servants ever cook anything in here?
No one ever said the Kendalls had any sense.
For Andraste's sake, don't speak ill of the dead. This roast is going to be charred on one side.
There's no help for it. We'll just trim it and feed the scraps to the dogs. Elena, where have you been? The housekeeper says you're wanted at the palace.
I had errands to run for my lady.
Her Majesty's been quiet as a mouse all day, and Ten House says she's to take dinner in her room. Is she well?
She is, indisposed. Not to worry.
Dinner's ready when I say it's ready, and not before. Now, scoot.
No, you can't have just a little taste first. Wait in the dining room like everyone else.
Dinner's ready.
No, you can't have just a little taste first. Wait in the dining room like everyone else.
Yes, ma'am.
I shall do it.
The captain lost you. I heard him talking to the chamberlain.
Hush, Hassan. Don't spread tales. What did he say?
So you've time for idle gossip, have you? Why didn't anyone tell me the Empress of Orlais was working in my kitchen?
Sorry, ma'am. Tell me after dinner. Out, out, out! We can't
They
work!
can fetch me the Ferelden.
Family got killed. I say how often level the thing and build a new one. He'd have to knock down every place he owns then.
What's in a row?
For all we know, it's not mutton. How's too cheap to buy it? Cook's probably roasting the elves that broke in here.
You realize that doesn't help, right? Oh.
As you say.
Schoolhouse. Now, isn't that...
Try spending a few nights in a castle full of corpses sometime. Maker's breath. And the village. If you could kill men by hating them, we'd all be in our graves now.
Late again. Kennel duty. What's the point of that, I ask you? Nobody in his right mind tried... Kennel duty. What's the... Kennel... Why am I guarding guard dogs? Dinner is... Why am I guard dog?
I shall do it.
The world may the Maker's mercy.
Hey.
Before the light. Word. I may give myself over to the flames, but without the Maker, I have nothing.
Maker, isn't dinner ready yet? Oh, my foot's asleep again.
Ask me anything.
I hope the cook... Again.
I hope the cook's not made mutton again. I hope the cook's not... Oh, Maker, I stepped in something. I hope the cook's not made mutton again.
Maker, isn't dinner ready yet? Maker. Oh, my foot's... Maker.
The Grey Warden is here, my lady.
Thank the Maker. I would greet you properly, but I'm afraid we've had a setback. How am I supposed to answer that? Shall I try to shove my crown under the door? Do you think the royal family has a secret knock? My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic.
I did not know. There were only guards here when I left. We must get her out of there.
Don't panic, Erlina. Find the mage who cast the spell. He'll most likely be at Hal's side. Well, if he didn't know you were here, he soon will.
Please, Warden, I beg you, do not leave my queen here.
Free me, and I promise you my aid in the Landsmeet.
We do not have much time. We must go before the guards discover us. Baron Howe will probably be in his rooms. They're at the end of the hall, on the left. Baron Howe is probably in the room.
I can't believe I drew this shift again. Oh, for the love of Andraste! I've got an itch between my shoulders. I can't believe I drew this shift again. Oh, for the... I can't believe I drew this shift again.
spare us.
Everyone's at dinner, don't worry.
In that case, come here. On my way. I shall.
What? Who goes there?
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. Do you think you could... Alistair? Is that you?
Who? Wait. I do know you. You were at my joining. He's one of us. A warden from Orlais. Jada, I think. Or was it Montserrat? I'm afraid I don't remember your name.
I'm Riordan, senior warden of Jada, but born and bred in Highever, and glad to be home. With an offer of hospitality and a poisoned chalice. I was fool enough to think Loghain didn't yet know who I was. I saw him going to the dungeons. He may still be there. For the most part, attempting to hold my tongue. I was sent when we received no word from King Cailan as to the outcome at Ostagar. The king had invited all the wardens of Orlais and their support troops to join him. Then nothing. We had 200 wardens and 24 divisions of cavalry. The first we heard of Loghain's edict was when everyone was turned back at the border. That was when the rumor reached us that wardens were being blamed for the massacre. We finally decided it was safest to send someone alone to learn how best to fight the Blight and this regime simultaneously. As a native Ferelden, I volunteered to make the crossing. The other wardens won't risk their strength fighting Ferelden's civil war. If they spend themselves against Loghain, there is truly no hope. They recall accounts of the first Blight, how many cities fell. If Ferelden is too foolish to save itself, at least, we'll be ready when the Archdemon leads its forces further. Besides, I hear you haven't been doing badly at raising an army yourself. But perhaps if the edict can be lifted, I will send a message as soon as we are gone from this place. Yes, these are my records. The names of the dead I could recognize at Ostagar. What I could find of Duncan's own recruitment records. Copies of the joining ritual I rescued from our Denerim vault. Those should never be seen by any outside eyes, but I trust in their encryption. Would that I could, for Ferelden sorely needs them. But for the joining to work, the recruit needs not only fresh Darkspawn blood, but a drop of blood preserved from an Archdemon. Ferelden's supply should have been in the vault, but it was gone. I can only imagine someone took it out and Loghain either confiscated or destroyed it. As you know, the joining's chance of success is slim anyway. Loghain has done far worse to the Wardens than cut us off from recruiting. And from the rumors flying through Denerim, removing him from the throne is already your plan, no? It seems to me the first order of business is to leave this place. It will do neither of us good to be caught at the site of a massacre.
We've been staying with Archdemon at his estate. If you need a place to stay, I'm sure he'd make you welcome.
At Archdemons, then. And good luck, brother.
Who goes? Anybody tries to come in here without Hal's say-so, we get to do what we like with them. I think we finally got a bit of entertainment here, lads.
Yeah!
No quarter shall be given. Give them the advantage. Quickly, let's fight.
I shall do it. It shall be done. As you say. I shall do it.
Here I am.
I shall do it.
Hey. It's done.
As you say. Let's be wary.
I shall do it.
Most excellent! I think we work well together. We must gain the advantage!
Very well. More enemies ahead.
I'll try to be
We've done this. That dress you're wearing really suits you.
As you say. It is begun.
Don't leave me here. Get me out of here. That's an order.
Was this supposed to be a lesson? Did my father think it funny to leave me for so long before sending you? You move in august company, stranger. I am Oswin, son of Ban Sigurd, of the Dragon's Peak Banon. If you aren't one of our soldiers, pray tell me, who should I be thanking for my rescue? Then I have no question about why you would come, Warden. For it is your men who have suffered the most here. You have my heartfelt gratitude. And I assume the gratitude of the entire Dragon's Peak Banon. If my father sent no one after me, I can only assume that he does not yet know the true colors of the snakes he is allied with. But if you talk to him, I'm certain he would offer you any reward you might ask. One soldier returning from Ostagar was my wet nurse's son. We have been friends since birth. He told me his unit was ordered to turn their backs on Kalen at Ostagar, before the Darkspawn overwhelmed him. The next day he disappeared. When I went to search for him, I accepted a drink from a stranger and ended up here. Then there is a Landsmeet after all. Hal said the Jarl of Redcliffe was dead, and the Landsmeet called off. I swear, if there be any forum to speak out against Loghain, my father will be there. Now, please, I must try to get to him. I cannot see the last of this place too soon. Enemies approaching!
I tried to be merciful.
Very well.
They said to retreat. The horn sounded and we turned, and then the screams. We rode and they screamed and screamed and... Mother, can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died, and we left them in the swamp. The witch. The witch!
He's obviously mad. I don't think you'll get anything more out of him.
Safe? Is there a safe? Perhaps next door?
What month is it? Are you some enemy of Aurelians? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here. The Arl's son, he abducted my bride on our wedding day. When I tried to rescue her, I don't remember. She was screaming and he was laughing and I charged at him. And woke up here. I don't know if she's even still alive. Dead. Then who's ruling? His son, Vaughn. He struck me down and I woke up here. People were so angry, they were thinking of petitioning the king. There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
Well, well. Bryce Cousland's little boy, all grown up, and still trying to fit into Daddy's armor. I never thought you'd be fool enough to turn up here. And then, I never thought you'd live, either. Is this about your family? Still? But I have done so much more than wipe your name from Ferelden memory. And what's left? A fool husk of a son, likely to end his days under a rock in the deep roads. Even the Wardens are gone. You're the last of nothing. This is pointless. You've lost. There it is. Right there. That damned look in the eye that marked every Cousland success that held me back. It would appear that you have made something of yourself after all. Your father would be proud. I, on the other hand, want you dead more than ever. Make us spit on you. I deserved more.
As you say.
Who's there? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Arl of Denerim. I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Arling of Denerim, it's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything. In my room, there's a lockbox full of sovereigns. Free me, and the key is yours. Here it is. Now please, hurry. I swear you won't regret this.
Maker, have mercy on your faithful servant. Grant me a place at your side. Grant me the cleansing flames. Andraste, Bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real? I'm Erminric, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Tern's men?
He sounds like he's in lyrium withdrawal. He's got all the signs, confusion, weepiness. He probably doesn't even know what he's saying. If the Grand Cleric knew he were in here, she'd be spitting hot coals. Nobles don't have authority over Templars.
I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done. Alfstanna is a far better man than I would have been, but I don't remember how I came to be here. The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him, but the Tern's men took him from me and brought me here. Yes, he destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, if you're not a dream, help me. No one can free me from failure, save Blessed Andraste. Give this ring to my sister, Alfstanna. Tell her I'm sorry. Please, ask her to pray for me. Lady of Perpetual Sorrows, pray for me.
It shall be done. Enemies approaching!
Make a preserve!
you say. It has begun. Very well. We must not exhaust. Very well. More enemies
You need me? Yes, of course.
Thieves! Brigands in the house! God, help us!
My thanks. Funny. Very funny. We must go quickly and avoid notice. If House people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
Just look at this. How was worse than the riot?
Someone's here.
Look, you didn't say nothing. Wait. Who are you? You're not on my watch! Call the watch! We've got an intruder!
Shh. You'll draw attention to us.
I shall.
Just look at this. How was worse than the riot?
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy. Don't be ridiculous. The Queen isn't being held prisoner here or anywhere else. Her father would never stand for such a thing. Unlike you, some of us know what honor and loyalty are. I have no doubts about Loghain.
We have killed so many other guards. What do a few more matter?
Why stop now? Calthrion is all that stands between us and freedom.
Are you sure this is what you wish?
I'm surprised this ended peacefully. Bring the Wardens. Loghain doesn't care about the rest.
Eamon, we have a problem.
We have more than one, I think.
Andraste, watch over our friends in danger.
Calm down. What has happened?
The Wardens have been captured.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free him.
Surely you mean them, Your Highness. We need Alistair too.
Yes, of course, I meant Alistair too. Calthrion will take him to Fort Draken. Getting inside will be no small feat.
I know where they are. The Grey Warden is in possession of a ring that allows me to locate him. Getting to him, however, is quite something else.
Oh, you're awake. I was starting to worry. Join the Grey Wardens. See the sights from the floors of the best prisons in the land. It's not much of a recruitment slogan, is it? I hope you have a plan. You know, there's something about being trapped in a fortress full of people who want me dead that makes me think, being a Templar might not have been so bad. Help! Someone, help us! My friend is dying.
What's the matter with you?
Enemies approaching! Tricky on! Yeah! I need a moment to breathe! Yeah! I am exhausted! This part is forever!
That's foolish! Very well. As you say. Very well. As you say. We must not exhaust our supplies.
Hey!
It is begun. As you say. I shall do it. Very well. It is begun. It shall be done. You never see them stuck polishing the rust off the armor. Very well. Hey, are you relieving me? It's about time. Good. Mind the blighted chainmail. The commander will skin us both if he finds any rust. It is begun.
What's this? Ah! You must be the new recruits we were expecting. You're late. The rest of your patrol is in the storage room. Find them and get yourselves ready for inspection.
I almost didn't make it out to mess today. Forgot
blighted password again.
That's why I write it down every day. Keep it in my pocket. I got stuck on the second floor hallway for 3 hours last week. I swear those guards are possessed by demons or something.
As you say. It has begun.
Did you need something?
We've been ordered to get this room cleaned up.
So the Colonel can eat off the floor if he wants to. Cursed potatoes. Thank the Maker.
What are we going to do about him, though?
Is there some problem?
So the assistant quartermaster is a little miffed with us at present.
I told you we should have put those potatoes in the cellar straight away.
Some things went amiss. Mistakes were made. The quartermaster got chewed out by Tern Loghain, and then he chewed out the assistant.
And now to get back at us for landing him in trouble, the assistant quartermaster won't give us our blades. And you can't pass inspection without a regulation sword.
It's probably better that the officers know as little about this as possible.
I told you those potatoes were going to go off.
But he doesn't have any beef with you. Maybe you could talk to him. He's down the hall in the armory.
Maker, help us.
Secret girdle. He's gone.
Well, don't just stand there. Get your blade and let's report to the Colonel before he gets back.
So, you think you're ready to go on your first patrol mission, do you? That's what I like to hear. You there!
Yes, sir.
Stand up straight. You're a soldier in the King's army, and the King's own men don't slouch. And you!
Yes, sir.
Stop fidgeting. You can fidget on your own time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Kiss arse.
You there, Blondie.
Yes, sir.
What's the one thing a soldier can't do without?
What do I tell him? Honor, sir!
Better than I expected. Honor is the best thing a man can have. See to it that you keep yours at all times. I expect a lot of you back here by sunup. Now get out of here, and make her watch over you. Go on now and stay out of trouble.
Very well.
Only had it a month, and already this armor doesn't fit. I got to lay off the mince pie.
Password?
Rabbit, I think.
Going on your first patrol, are you? Good luck.
Stay sharp out there. Stay sharp out there.
Very
It's
well.
always a proud day when a soldier takes up real duties. Andraste watch over you lot. It's always a proud day when a soldier takes up real duties. Andraste watch over you lot.
I'm sorry, my child, but I'm busy right now. Come back later.
Good luck out there. Good luck out there.
I shall do it.
What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Kadan? As you wish.
Right here, old pal. What about? Handling what? Bronca? Pih, that treasure's been long buried. Ancestors take me. You people whine like tea kettles around here.
I better not catch you trying to serve brown bread to the guests again, Alana, or I'll have your hide.
Can't talk now, sir. Mistress.
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas. Your wish? Whatever you'd like to have.
Is it true there's a prince among the Isle's visitors?
None of them looked all that princely to me. So many visitors.
I hope all the accommodations are to your liking, Warden. Please let me know if anything is troubling you.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it?
Surely the Arl's knights will return. The civil war has... I didn't think the Arl would pull
Can't all
through.
be gallivanting about
But he has.
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical. It doesn't have on then.
The Arl's a lie. This is one.
Excuse me. The Lady Queen has summoned me to see to her unmentionables. Well, not much. Just, may I air that for you, my lady? She's brought a maid of her own to wait on her. I beg your pardon, sir, but I really can't be seen standing about. The housekeeper will have my head. Good day.
This is not... What is your wish, Kadan? As you wish.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. Your desire? We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will. And you wish to do this in front of an audience, do you? Come to think of it, I find myself no longer caring.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden. I was uncertain you would respond as you did, considering the consequences. I am glad you did. Thank you. Now, however, we must work together. And quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first. But he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat. Yet even now, I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake How is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that How and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as How's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me. I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Galen was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same. This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain. Are you thinking you might stand a chance at courtship? It would be unseemly for her to marry so soon after Kaelin's death. She wouldn't take that risk unless it helps her secure the throne. Honora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
Thanks. I'm right here, you know.
His mother was a maid, but his father was Merrick Therin, for whom we all risked our lives to win back the throne. I only wish Merrick had taken more time to instruct the lad in the politics of ruling. I did my best, but we all hoped Kaelin and Honora would secure the succession.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Honora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown. It looks better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine. Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers.
Are you serious? No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me. I'm going to stand over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen unless they both agreed to it. And I suspect that might take a lot of persuading to get past her pride and his humility. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away. Of course.
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Old Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the lock wheel. Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries, for the defense of Denerim. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then. Tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only way he ever let himself down. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lad. And very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there and the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs. Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike. If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only way he ever let himself down. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Hal did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. No? You're a Grey Warden. And despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Arl Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in...
Get a plan.
I have spoken with Alistair, but you are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far. For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Caelin's queen. As much as they loved Caelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Caelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity. For us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Caelin knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built. My feelings towards Alistair have nothing to do with it. I barely know him. I simply believe that I am what this country needs. I will fight for what I believe. Would Alistair do the same? Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. This is in addition to High-Ever being properly restored to you. That should go without saying, I trust. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your companions. I trust I have made my point. Tempting. You are of Cousland blood, it's true. Despite the fact that you are also a Grey Warden, it would be unprecedented, but a man like you could make a fine prince and consort. Is this what you are actually proposing? My hand for your support? And I am tired of ruling in a husband's name. If I marry again, it will not be to become a figurehead. If being a consort is not enough, then marry Alistair. Perhaps he will bend over more gracefully than I would. Of that I have no doubt, if only it didn't chafe so. Very well. It is too good an opportunity to pass up. Once I am coronated, I will take your hand as my consort. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me? No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you. Ask me whatever you like. Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband? It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked remaining the silent wife in my husband's shadow. Calen was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Calen would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Calen dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream. He wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down. They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Loghain is the hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant. That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the lands meet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us. It was more than just my own loss, but I thank you all the same. Ask me whatever you like. Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already. Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common. Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think. I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes. Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what How was, and while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from How and not my father at all. We may never know. I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Calen was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Calen was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine. Ask me whatever you like. Then I wish you luck, Warden.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it. I'm not a political man. I like being a warden. There's real evil out there, and it's something we can fight. It's something we can defeat. Making laws, settling disputes, that's not me. I wouldn't have the first idea how to do it. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen? I suppose I could always flip a coin. Got one handy. It's just that everything I've heard about Queen Honora is that she's the one who really ruled here, not Calen. She's smart, tough, determined. Well, I feel a bit like Calen's substitute. I think I'll be better off against the Darkspawn. All right, Alistair, enough whining. Thank you, Alistair. That's excellent advice. I'll do my best. About the whining? I know. Someone really needs to slap that one around. I haven't been here in a while. Ask away. Of course.
If your desire... So...
This is a nice... Well, aren't you sweet and attentive? Of course. Wait, you want to talk about us? Is this... Really?